recording. You could do your key phrase whenever you're ready.
Discard your cards.
Discard your cards.
And whenever you want to start. We do this every time.
I know it.
Hold on.
I'm waiting.
I'll
Who's
find
it gonna be?
Yeah, it'll be
It's
Noah
gonna be
this
me?
time. He's looking for it.
You mean you haven't got it memorized yet?
No.
What? How many times have we done this?
Do I have the old one? I have
37?
the new one. I have
37 times now?
37?
37 times now.
What? Oh, it's cut. Hold on. It's got something added at the beginning. It's. I think I'm doing this on purpose. Greetings, everybody, and welcome to episode 37 of the Sitcast, aka the Siblings in Cardboard podcast. I'm your host, Noah, joined by my buddy / co-host, Thomas and Donnie. Whether you're a veteran card gamer or a first timer just testing the waters, we are all siblings in cardboard. Guys, how have things been since the last time we talked in this totally not, third take?
But it wasn't the third take.
I know, we just went right into it.
It was
clean.
Yeah. First time. Yeah.
Clean, predictable.
We are professionals here on the Siblings in Cardboard podcast.
Huh? I hope
I couldn't say that
right.
with a straight face.
I mean,
we try, right?
well
Sometimes.
over half a year now.
Yeah, 37 episodes.
Does that equate to half a year?
No,
I guess, right?
26 is half a year, my friend.
Oh my, so over half a year.
That's why I said well over half.
It's hard. When you put it into weeks, the math gets different, okay?
Wow.
Donnie's
Wow.
over there.
I'm sitting here thinking we are not that far away from a year. We
Yeah,
are not
I
that far
know.
away from our anniversary.
Don't,
Holy
for,
cow.
For we're going to do something real special for a year. Real
Huh.
special.
Yeah, I guess we got to start thinking about it, huh? As
Thinking
far
about
as
a lot.
I don't want to think
my
about
week,
anything except these new cards coming out.
There's a
Dude,
real
dude, I
enigma.
tell you, every single spoiler has been a banger, man. From the art to the flavor, everything that we've seen so far has just built the hype. I am over the moon for this set. I am absolutely going nuts. I cannot wait to get my hands on everything.
Yep. People in the Discord, we're already sitting around cooking both Enigma, not both, all of Enigma, Zen, and New. And all three heroes seem to have really fun stuff that they do. They all seem strong. Strong is the good word. Especially New and Zen. Enigma is hard to tell. It's very hard to evaluate things like Ward.
Well, illusionists have that problem. They're not immediately apparent. That has been the tradition so far. It takes a little while to figure them out. But considering that everybody's already playing with everything, we'll probably have it figured out sooner than later. But anyway, we'll get to that. My week in Flesh and Blood. My week in Flesh and Blood, I ain't done nothing. Well, no, I did go to Armory. I did go to Armory on Friday. And I went 3-0 with Uzuri and finally was able to claim an Armory win for the first time in forever.
Hey.
Yeah, it was a great time. I definitely needed it. I needed to come out and spend some time with my buddies because I've been, man, it's not letting up. I'm tired, man.
We talked about it. I bet.
I had a weekend full of
tired.
misplays. Played a lot of Dash.io this week. I think in just the past week, played maybe 120 games of Dash.io.
Woo!
So
With that spicy version?
yeah, it's the spicy version because it takes a lot to evaluate. I don't think we're done evaluating whether the deck, how it's going to work. And Dash.io is a toolbox deck, right? So you have a lot of options.
Construct Nitro spiciness?
Yeah, this is the mechanoid-ish spiciness.
The market's taking notice. Don't worry.
No, I'll tell you why the market's taking notice of mechanoid. It's because of a certain spoiler card that makes mechanoid much more consistent. Yeah, Supercell.
Oh no, we'll have to get to that.
Yeah. So that might be why
Really
mechanoid is on the uprise. That just makes mechanoid better. In fact, like both Tekla and Max got stonks. Because those new Evos, especially the headpiece, is crazy. The headpiece is crazy. But yeah, I played a lot of Dash.io, and I've been playing a lot of Zen. Because Zen is like kind of my focus of the new heroes that I want to kind of get into. If I chose wrong, I'll probably try out new. Because new seems really fun too.
You chose wrong. It's new. New is the answer to everything. Life, the universe. It doesn't matter. It's new.
You chose wrong. real to the point.
I feel like she has more polarizing matchups because you like sit down across from a ranger and go, "Oh, my hero power doesn't really do anything. I don't have a bow. I can't shoot arrows." So you can't steal the blue arrows. You sit down across from a Kasai, and actually you sit down across from any warrior, and you're just like, okay, this is a hard matchup. They have a
Some
good
of those
fridge,
things will
good
affect daggers. And like puncture, you can still, but nobody's running blue puncture. Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
You get glint.
Our evaluation is that warrior is pretty tough for new.
I know at the end of this month, everybody's going to be taking a harder look at their blues and what they should and shouldn't be playing.
Definitely
Deck lists are about to change. Oh, yeah. Everybody's going to be taking a hard look, but especially the Guardians.
Terra Sunder, Macho Grande.
But they're not playing.
Even some of the Boulder Drop is pretty bad.
And then you play Slither to give it go again and then disable them.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so brutal. Oh,
I
man.
can't wait.
It's so polarized. Okay. Let's
what about
we got a lot of spoilers to get into, so if we're going to do the market minute, we should get that knocked out, because I'm sure there's some really great speculation going on right now.
There is and there isn't.
Wild
I know
stuff.
what you're gonna ask, Donnie, and I have done a lick of flesh and blood outside of I bought some Everfest.
Oh, I just knew you've been working and traveling, man.
I live by what I preach, though, so I promise there will be cases of Everfest waiting when I get home. Because it's the right thing to do. Just believe me.
I think the EV on those boxes is crazy.
It's just the right thing to do. That's what we're going with now.
The extended arts, the legendaries suck out of it. I understand that. If you get a pulse of ice, or not pulse, if you get the stalagmite, you probably feel really bad. It skyrockets later on, and then you're not.
It'll come back.
Of course, it'll come back. It's
what you feel bad is if you get a bunch of berserks for your majestics.
Oh yeah, don't want berserks. You just want the shimmers. You want the good ones.
Oh, is that Dynasty? No, it's Dynasty.
Oh, no, Berserk is Dynasty.
Yeah.
No, most Everfest Majestics are literally stocks. Like there's not far and few between. Either way, before we get into the market minute 2, I just want to say you guys should be very careful about buying off of eBay. There's been a lot more sellers I've realized that are selling fake cards. Sometimes it's pretty apparent in the pictures. Other times it's best to just go and look at feedback. Usually somebody selling cards has like an 89 to lower feedback. There's a high percentage chance that something crazy is going on. It's usually not hard to trade cards. And most people that get cards don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like the rating shouldn't be that low. I promise you, because I was fretting over like the smallest white border on TCG Player, and everybody's like, I don't care. I want my cards to be playable. So just throwing it out there. I found a couple already. Usually they're on auctions. Usually they're things that are rolling low. So try and figure out why that card is about to sell for so low. And if you're worried about it, try and buy from somebody you know locally, or look for the blue authenticity check on eBay. Pay the extra dollars. But be careful. Seriously. People are trying to pass cards off as being fake way more now.
It's usually the non-foil majestics, right? The non-foil majestics are where people try to fake the most.
Yeah, most of the time. Yeah, but I've seen some foiled E-strikes in people's like feedback history saying this is obviously fake. So like, and I've seen MTG, like other card games, guys, seriously protect yourselves. People are out there. They want money for whatever. Even if it's fake. All right.
Good PSA.
Yeah, just because I look at it a lot. You know what I'm saying? I almost get it myself. I'm like, why is that so cheap? I'm like, let me go do some research. Because like that shouldn't be. Like somebody should be buying this card. We've talked about this card a lot, but I don't think we've actually like highlighted it. So we're just gonna go ahead and do it. If I did, I apologize. But I think it's really relevant. It's concealed blade from outsiders. It has gone up. It continues to pretty much trend around $12 right now. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see this continue to go upwards. It's already spiked there previously before. We're talking non-play, which I think is pretty crazy considering this card was about a $1.50 or $2 or something at one.
It's blue.
It was okay, but it is blue, so it's got a lot going for it. It blocks 3 as well,
and a reaction.
And it is a reaction.
It's
so
a blue you could transcend off of.
There's a lot of things going for it. Concealed Blade is a blue, so it pitches for 3. It costs 0. It defends for 3. It is an assassin/ninja attack reaction. Target assassin or ninja attack action card gains +1, and when this hits, equip a dagger from your inventory. So this works after you flick as well. You could flick something, then Concealed Blade, and bring a dagger back from your inventory. Feels pretty good. Probably going to work really well with some of the new daggers. Go again if you do end up flicking a dagger. I actually think it has really good game in the new. Probably a very, very solid auto include. At least 1, 2, I'd say. Maybe not a 3.
Maybe.
Maybe.
It depends on how good Beckoning Mistblade actually is.
And I've also been seeing a lot of Alluring Wave rather than Flick Knives.
Is that the other arm piece?
That's the common arm piece.
Yeah.
A lot of I've seen plenty of no silver equipment. It's the new legendary for the headpiece, tunic for the chest piece, and then the 2 new commons.
I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of nuance. If you
This guy gets it. This guy gets it.
I'm working on the puns. Don't worry about it. Okay. Moving on, we're going to talk about a card we briefly talked about. That's Construct Nitroid Mechanoid. Preferably the Rainbow Foil, because that's the most accessible one. And the little graph doesn't do it justice on TCG Player. It still says that Rainbow Foil is $26, which is a lie. It's actually up to $42. Yeah, I know. That's what got me. I clicked on it and I said, wow. Most selling. I said 42. I said, are we sure about this? Said, yeah. So it's jumped. One Rainbow Foil still sold for 25 recently, and I see some for 28 back on the 10th, 25 back on the 10th. No, it's steady 42 right now, selling to at 40 plus.
I have a Mechanoid to give back to you, Donnie, because Zach was very kind and let me borrow his Marvel Mechanoid.
Okay,
while
cool.
I'm playing Dio.
Shout out to Zach. He's a cool guy. That should be Zach Jensen, right?
Yep.
I love our local.
You mean Saint Havoc on YouTube, where he does lore videos and those awesome voiceovers?
The exact same one.
I think that's the guy. He's awesome, guys. Shout out to Zach. Okay. That was Construct Nitro Mechanoid. Sorry, comes from Dynasty. It is a Mechanologist weapon equipment item. It says action, banish a card under Nitroid Mechanoid to attack. It has overpower, meaning you get an action card, 5 attack, 5 defense, temper 1. The front of the card, it's a yellow pitch, so it pitches for 2. Costs 4, blocks for 3 when it's not flipped. And the text is transform target Mechanologist head, chest, arms, legs, weapon, and 3 hyperdrivers you control into Nitroid Mechanoid. If you don't, negate this. Basically, it's a transform card.
It might have the most text of any card other than the Leviathan Demi Hero.
Yeah, it's a Yu-Gi-Oh card for sure, is what we like to call it. But not as much print as on some of those Yu-Gi-Oh cards where you literally need magnifying glass to get all of it. Or just have a PhD and go in first and playing solitaire. And then you're really good at Yu-Gi-Oh. Just really good. But it is nice to see this card. This card had a huge spike, right? Remember when Bright Lights came out, Max, and everybody. I mean, it took it by storm. It was nuts. Just wasn't playable, I guess, to the highest level that people wanted. Obviously, it won some things here and there, but it fell short. So definitely nice to see it getting some play. Keeping in line with that, both the Marvel and the regular. I think we've talked about this amongst ourselves, but that's Evo Steel Soul Tower. Specifically the legs. Now, granted, all the Tekla pieces are going up. I'm not going to say they're not. So really be watching it, but it's very select ones, right? So I think the arms are more expensive than the chest. The boots are more expensive than the chest, and arms. I think the head is like hit or miss. It just, all of them have gone up, but they're not weighed the same in terms of the price.
Because all 3 or 4-ish mech heroes can all use the legs in some cases.
I was gonna say, you yourself in Dio were talking about.
And Max uses them, and Slapdash uses them, and Tekla also uses them. And trust me, I know that they're expensive because I was hunting them.
Yeah, and so they are at $25 right now, normal, $70 Marvel, which is pretty crazy considering they were about $35 Marvel.
Especially since the Marvel is just like a light darkening of the card.
It's only because it's Marvel.
I was going to say, they put the words Marvel and they have like a gold foiling, and people are like, well, that's the one I'm getting.
Yeah.
That's just how it works.
I mean, if you're going to go max rarity, you're going max rarity regardless of how good it looks, I guess.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've never cared about going max rarity for anything until the end of this month. I'm going hard.
What if it's max rarity, but it's max rarity white border?
Well, no, that's not max rarity then. So,
it is.
To put things in perspective, like max rarity for a lot of common cards is LSS stamped cards.
Oh yeah,
that'd
be great.
Peter, I believe in your dream. He's got the inverse max rarity, but the gold foil white border Dawn Blade to complete the full look. So I'm still rooting for you. Oh yeah,
that would actually be really cool.
It looks so much better than it sounds. Trust me. The commission was done. It was a clean card. You can go find it on Twitter. It's the before and afters were a little stark for a while. That was a real gold foil Dawn Blade. It was, I should say. Now it's something so much.
Someone had a gold foil modified
into a white border. Man. That's Peter. He's making an all white border.
It's too rich for my blood.
More power to you.
Oh yeah, I'm all about it. The journey's remarkable. I can't wait till he completes all of it. So Evil Steel Soul Tower is a Mechologist action equipment Evo base legs. It's a mouthful. The real key point there is it's still equipment, which is super cool. Even in your hand, unequipped onto your body, it's still equipment.
And then even when it's in play, it's still an action. So it still gets affected. Still gets affected by Overpower and Spider's Bite.
Look at that!
Right, no, Spider's Bite, Torpedoclast.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought there'd be drawbacks to that many names on a card? But there has to be, otherwise his fridge would be absolutely on it. Anyway, if you have base legs equipped, transform it into this, then equip this. This being a 4-cost blue pitching Steel Soul Tower that blocks for 3 when not equipped in hand. When this transforms or into an Evo with a different name, gain 1 action point. If that Evo is a hero, instead this triggers twice. And has temper on it. So block for 3 temper, 3, 5, 6, 6 block on leg pieces. Pretty dang good.
So I've got one that I want you to look up. I don't know if that was your last one, but I want to see your face in real time when you see it. I want you to go look up Phoenix form.
No way. Don't tell me.
Extended art, specifically the extended art.
Okay, specific. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to see your reaction when you see the trend line. Because it's wild.
Oh wow. No, but like, well, I mean, yeah, the trend line is just straight up. Like, it levels out at the end, but like that snake's on its.
I think it leveled out at the end because they ran out.
Yeah, like So here's what's really interesting is that somebody put them up for $14, and then somebody on the 12th, 2 days later, puts them up for $4.50. You know what I mean? Like that's what actually gets me. But it's at $20 right now. Phoenix Form Standard Art, which is crazy.
There is a strong rumor that Phi might still get a card from the sparingly small list of unrevealed cards.
That's it. It's all it takes to get Phoenix Form up. Okay.
Yeah, the cold foil Phoenix Flames went up too.
Those look really
me.
good.
I got one I need to get rid of.
So there are a couple I just want to mention. Obviously, I'm not going to touch over Phantom Tide Mod. Just going to say it went up again.
That's not surprising. The cards today made Phantom Tide Mod better.
Right. And then there are a couple of cards that I think that I think we should at least talk about in terms of their trending downward. And I think it might be a decent time to try and pick one up if you don't have it. One, Civic Steps, Bravo's on an all-time low. Civic Steps have recently, yeah, I mean, he is, just to be real. I don't think he's a bad hero. I think he had a high conversion rate. Again, I think it's going to get harder once news out there stealing blues.
Bravo did not have a high conversion rate.
I thought he did on day 2 on the Warsaw. He was one of the top 5. If I saw that correctly, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 30%.
Yeah, I guess that those stats are like really weird. 30% conversion rate's not good, but everyone was all pretty low.
Of the you know, of how many Bravos, that's almost like a third of them made it. I'll take it. It does look like Dory did that well. But anyway, Civic Steps have been on about $25, usually $20, $25. They're down to $12 right now. So I feel like it's a decent time to take a look. Granted, that's still $12 for a boost that came out around the table, but like they're solid. Like
they block.
There's no other Guardian equipment. Yeah, they block 3. Come on. Quicken tokens in this day, who cares? So keep your eyes on Civic Steps. If you still, yeah, but you're getting them anyway.
Man, I love Quicken tokens when I have a Mechanoid out. It's sweet.
Oh yeah, let's not do that. Don't give them Quicken tokens. The other card is Heart of Findle. Believe it or not, this card still continues to drop, which is a little sad and a little not. It's just not the right meta. Maybe New plays it, right? It's a blue. I don't know. It gains life, but I don't think so.
I hope not.
There was a Bolton who I'm pretty sure played it, who got to top 4 in the calling.
There's not a deck right now that's out there screaming you must play Heart. It's just not the right. I don't know. This doesn't feel right now. So Heart continues to fall. You can pick one up for 259, which is pretty low, and I think it trends down even more. I think you might be able to snag a Heart here for like 225 off of TCG. Maybe like trade with somebody, friends and family or something like that. But 225 seems about fair, and that's really cheap considering. I mean, it was what, 300 plus? 6 months, like 6 months ago, like at least. I mean, it used to be $400. So really, the only fable right now that's holding itself up is I Have a Video.
Kano stonks. I guess.
Wonder why.
Well, Kano, and there's like some weird Dories play. I don't know. There's just more niche use for I Have a Video and opting, I think, than there is for gaining one life.
I mean, it's a blue pitch. It's a blue pitch that lets you dig 2 extra cards through your deck.
Yeah. No, I mean, let's be real. I mean, it is a really good card. I Have a Video. Unless you get it off the top of a Kano trigger and you just go LOL. Well, that's why we play this deck.
Well, we got a good Kano story once we get to the calling.
Well, this is a good. This is a good segue because that was it. Kano doesn't like eye off the top, and let's go. Calling Warsaw, the land of Kano.
So the most
really
represented hero was KO, right? By a large margin.
Not surprising.
He is the deck to beat at the moment. I don't know if Misveil is going to change
Kano,
that.
right? Supposedly, because at least you make the Kano play faster. That's the idea.
Well, I mean, he has really natural AV3, so KO actually has a decent matchup in the Kano. At least in my opinion.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's what I'm saying. I think it's pretty okay.
So the second place representation was surprisingly Dorinthia at 55 and Azalea at 42. I think that's notable. Or tied with Victor. Victor and Azalea were tied at 42 each, and Prism at 25. That seems to hold pretty consistent with the meta we have here in North America too.
I was going to say Warrior is definitely the second most represented. I think it was at Nats too, if I remember correctly. It was really highly represented.
Or RTNs, you mean?
Yeah,
or
well,
PQs?
Nats still had Jeromai. Never mind. Jeromai was really high represented.
Yeah, Jeromai's been really high represented.
Warrior has been a lot higher represented than I even thought it would. Like, I just didn't, like, 55 Dorinthias at number 2 is actually super surprising. And I wonder how many are Hatchet.
How many are... I imagine most of them. Dawnblade is still playable. Like, it's just... The Hatchet engine's very good.
Yeah.
Quick aside. In 3 minutes and 30 seconds, DM Armada's spoiler is going live. so we can get our live reactions for that here shortly. As we are recording on Monday night, it's currently 9:17. We'll be getting one of the last spoilers here in just a few more minutes, so just heads up.
So, okay, top converting into day 2. So this is a really surprising number, but I think the conversion rate is always like a really weird number. It was -IO at 50%, but there were only 4 -IOs. And if you think of a top 8 conversion rate, -IO had 25%, right? 25% of all -IOs got the top 8, which sounds like a ludicrous number, but
there's only 4 -IOs, so it's an underrepresented deck that still goes through. That means that it had to have been okay into the field. So that's why I think the number's kind of interesting.
-IO is just good.
List. So
if I recall correctly, it was a more boom grenade focused list, which has better legs into KO. So considering how big KO was, if they had good gem lottery and they rode in a bunch of KOs, I would say that typically your red yellow boom grenade list is probably more favored than the more conservative list that can consistently beat out like Victor and stuff. So that's my guess. I didn't watch that person more than like maybe a game, and I did see a red boom grenade. I know that there were 2 Kanos, a Dory, a Bolton, a Zelia, Dash Inventor Extraordinaire, so 2 dashes, and KO.
So one of the 102 KOs gets in. None of the Prisms get in. None of the Victors get in. One Dory gets in.
Surprisingly, none of the Prisms got in, because if you look at that list, the only one that's like really like, I guess there's a Dory, a Dash, and a -IO. Those can be pretty tough for Prism, and occasionally KO can be tough for Prism too. So maybe it just wasn't a good meta for Prism, and only 7 of them converted to day 2 to begin with. So it's probably just a hard gem lottery to get through.
What surprised me was how many
nice top 8.
What surprised me was how many KOs converted to day 2. Out of 102, there were only like 22 KOs that actually made the cut.
So like the deck lives and dies kind of by its high. I mean, I don't want to say high roll potential, but like it has its drawbacks. I mean, even
with 3 Blood Rush Bellows in your deck, and that's your only misses, I think you still have like a 7% chance to rip one off the top. And that's just 7% doesn't sound like a lot, but when you play like 10 games, it's a lot. It's like you gotta do well 10 games in a row to get to top 8. So
this actually makes sense now that you look at it, because Dory's 55, Azalea 42, Victor 42. All 3 of those matchups aren't particularly amazing. KO actually hates Warriors, and he hates.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not saying he's not.
Azalea's like a natty counter to him. Like the flesh bag doesn't do a lot. The flesh bag doesn't do a lot. He has the fridge, but he can use it like once. And then Red and Ledger, like, yeah, he has the ability to throw that like 2-card 9 value, but that's it. He's hoping he gets to Bear Fangs when he gets Red and Ledger.
That's a hard field to play KO, and I mean that's 3 decks at the top of representation that all have a decent play into. Like, it's not like you're out there playing like, oh, this is statistically mine. You're out there playing hard games, so it's not an auto win. I just want to point out that KO is highly represented, but it's not just auto winning all the way to top. Like, it really is. I mean, as crazy as the deck is, as high as the numbers are, as high rolly as it can be, it doesn't just. It's not walking over everything.
So
no, definitely not. But if you miss one time against KO, then you can just get blown out of the water. I'm working on my article for Fabric on calling Warsaw, and in the first round of the calling was Arthur Trehey, the recent Pro Tour LA winner, playing KO versus an Azalea in round 1, and he was getting walloped by this Azalea until Azalea missed, drew an all arrow hand, and the Azalea went from like 22 to 1 in 1 turn, and just lost the game.
Was it a sash break?
It was literally 1 turn. No, it wasn't even a sash break. It was a blood rush.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, well,
sash break, blood rush. They're about the same value.
Right?
About the
that's why we call sash the 4th blood rush. It generates about the same value. It's very, very strong.
Okay, here
I
we go.
want you to explain the difference between these two things. They're the same thing.
They're the same
That's
thing.
pretty,
Cosmic
that's pretty much what
Awakening.
it
Lots
is.
of flashing lights. DM Armada's cards on my screen. Cosmic Awakening.
Cosmic Awakening.
It's being spoiled right
Okay,
now.
it's a mystic.
I mean, you gave me a link.
Art's really pretty.
Art is fantastic.
I get an ad.
Blocks 3. It's got a star.
Green
Got a
flowy
star
I
for
get
its
dress.
power.
Botox and you get a card.
That
9. Oh,
Pause?
9.
Oh, man.
Not
Oh,
pause.
man.
What's going on here?
What
are we doing?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
What? What?
What's the last thing? It has mine's a little
Oh
bit
my
behind.
goodness. Oh, that is
Okay.
crazy.
Okay, so we're just like flipping out, not saying anything. The card is
Okay,
a 9-pitch blue that blocks 3, and it says if one Chi was pitched to play this, Cosmic Awakening's value is 10 attack, 2, it's 15 attack, 3, it's 20 attack. Oh man.
I'm reading the chat and all I see is
Who's
that
the
has
Guardian now?
Phantasm, right?
Is this
it does not have
Wow.
Hold on.
Phantasm.
Actually, no. You man,
This is-
do you not I don't know if you play this
That's
as
the end game right there,
Okay.
man.
new can maybe play it because she can go for a longer game, but then you have a card in your deck that you have to take out against the mirror match because you cannot have this in your deck against new.
No.
This you just because it's going to be your
Just
banish
no.
and slowly just because they're going to pitch. They're going to.
Well,
Oh no, it doesn't work with new because she can't pitch to play
Right.
it.
correct.
Oh, okay. No, this is a
'Cause
great
you,
card
you
against
play
new.
it without paying its pitch cost. Yeah.
Yeah, never mind. This is a great card against new.
That
It's
is
even better.
Crazy.
Who's it good in?
A 20 power attack that you
well,
play in the end game. Oh man.
Who can
Is
who
it-
can
is
get
it good?
access to
Is
the
it
most cheat? Enigma? Maybe
Oh,
just
they
like
all
late
have
game?
access to a ton
It's
of
definitely
cheat,
an Enigma
but-
card.
This is an Enigma card for sure. This is like a win condition where you're just like you're forced into stalling out, and then all of a sudden you have like a win con.
This might as well have been legendary.
The only thing I
'cause
can
nobody's
think
gonna
of,
play more than one.
the only thing I could think of is that it's an Enigma card. She gets this board state, and the person has to like peel all the way through it, and you manage to keep 3 chi. But think of the Hail Mary that this is, right?
Do we need a 9-cost 20 power attack?
You have to
Do we need
hold.
this?
You have to hold 3 non-block
Hold on.
blues in your hand.
Let's just say that you get 1 chi and you throw it for 10. 10 is a lot of
Okay,
damage.
that's-
I know it's
that's
a 3
true.
blue
That's
10.
true. That is true. A
And
9-cost 10
And then
is
15, I'm already at the Vince McMahon stage where I'm back here, right? When we go to 20, I flip out. I'm like, what?
it's not ridiculously overrate for its cost until you hit the 20.
Yeah, but then it's
What's
like
the possibility
Viscerai.
of having 20 power on a single attack?
No, what are you, Viscerai
That's
OTK?
crazy.
What
Fine.
if you use the new ninja legendary and you transcend like 4 times in one turn and then just yeet this at somebody? After doing a whole bunch of other stuff.
All right. Like, I'm really entertained by this card. I want you to understand that I think this card is pure fun and chaos, and I accept it. And if I get hit with this, I'm going to go back and watch this because President Noah at that time isn't going to be able to comprehend how that was a really fun card. But we're going to go back. Let me tell you.
Here's the
Noah
perfect
that just
excuse to
lost
keep
to it.
a spin
It's a
down
perfectly
D20 in your
balanced
box.
Yeah.
I need a new
This
dice.
is-
Yeah. Now
I need
they
a new
have to
dice.
make another die to count up to 20.
This is backs against the wall, like hand draw part of the cards. Like, I've got it. And you're
Dude,
just
but
sitting
it's,
there
it's,
going,
it's
You
a
better
please
kill me
don't
this
give
turn,
up."
buddy.
it's a worse titanium bauble until you could play it though.
Well, that's remember how everybody's always saying, "What's the gold payoff? What's the gold payoff?" This is the cheap payoff. They figured this one out.
I don't know. I think the cheap
Way to
payoff
go,
is
LSS.
mill 3 cards off the top of someone's deck and then use their entire banish zone against them.
Or Bro, 20. I like the way you're thinking.
Is that in some matchups, this does less damage than just New using their banish zone against them.
How are you gonna block for dude? The comments are killing me. I've stayed longer for the chat comment.
Awesome card against fatigue. I don't necessarily believe that. I think this card could be usable. I want to see the deck that like actually wants to do it, and I think it's going to be Enigma.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it has to be a deck. New can do it too, though, because New has a lot of life gain. I actually think there is a deck. Somebody's going to make it, and you're sick, by the way. It's probably going to be Charles Dunn. Not sick in a bad way, sick in a good way. You're going to make a fatigue Enigma out of all the life gain, and you're going to make me just like sick that they made that much life. But do it and put this card in, and then throw 20 at someone.
Okay, that is a lot of hoops to try to jump through to get this card to go off at max value.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever do, take a picture because it'll probably never happen again.
Let's also remember that you have to draw the 3 chi in the same turn, or you're intellect penaltying yourself with a non-block blue.
Yeah, this is like last hand.
This is pitch deck.
Yeah,
last ditch effort, right? You say last ditch effort. I say throw for 20.
Yeah, this does.
Yeah,
this does trump last ditch effort. Because you don't
this
have to
is
wait
literally
till
a
your deck is
last ditch effort hand, right? This is my 4 cards. I draw my 4 cards and I play this. Either I have enough ward left over. I'm Enigma. I have enough to live and then throw it. It's got to be something like
yeah. That's probably it.
That's what it is. It's okay. I've done enough. I've protected my life total. I'm now allowed to take whatever attack. I now throw 20. Merry Christmas. Welcome in.
Yeah, but
there it is.
Lots of decks can do that.
100%,
dude.
It just I feel like Enigma is going to be able to do that.
If I pitch 9 in a turn playing Zen, I'm hoping I'm dealing like 35 damage, like not 20.
Oh man!
But it is a blue card singularly on its own that deals 20.
If you're swinging 20 in the last few turns of the game, you are ending the game because all the armor's gone. The maximum block that you're probably going to have is about 12.
Yeah, 12.
Maybe a little higher if you've got D-reacts left, but 20 is going to end the game. That card will end the game if it's played at the end game where it's meant to.
That's not the card I was expecting though. I was kind of expecting a little bit, just like looking at the blurred art of it, I was expecting a little bit more illusionist love. I guess it's kind of pseudo illusionist love since it fits best into an Enigma deck, but still.
Well, let's also do the thing that we should do and realize that I think it's just a mystic, right? So
it is just mystic.
Could be for somebody down the road, and that's what I love about this game.
That's true. It could be for a mystic talent that we haven't got, but
it's okay, James. It missed the mark. Don't worry about it. Make it real good 3 sets from now.
The only talent we've had reprinted so far though is Shadow and Light, which were the first talents, to be fair. So maybe.
This seems like a place we go back to. I promise. Like this seems like a place we go. We get heroes and we come back to. This isn't going to be like a one and done. I feel like we will go back to the lands.
Oh well, and get more misty on some heroes. Of the cards ties the events of Part the Mistveil to the ending of Dusk Till Dawn.
See? Yeah. Even more of a reason we're going back here.
Yeah, some of the art actually shows like soul in the background.
Mm-hmm. So Mistveil's worried about the Demonastery or whatever's happening in Solana.
Well, it should be. Everybody should. Okay.
Back completely to calling Warsaw, because we have to talk about we have to talk about the Kano versus KO game. Or of Kano versus Bolton. Mm-hmm. Because I was watching this live. I didn't watch a lot of it live, but I was watching this live, and the gentleman's name is Vincent, and I'm not trying to be deprecating at all, but he goes into this combo with a 20 card-ish pitch stack against this Axe Bolton, and the Bolton is still really high life, and he's been intellect penaltying himself for like 2 turns or something, and he completely screws up the combo. Not once, but twice. He uses Ragamuffins to fix it the first time, and then the second time, it's just ruined. And so he's got 2 wildfires on the stack. They both get fully blocked out. And then he's got 2 blazing aethers on the stack. No, Oasis and Spell Void. 2 blazing aethers on the stack, and they both deal 0 damage. So 2 wildfires, 2 blazings, no damage. And everyone who's played Kano knows that usually that happens. The Kano just scoops out of like almost politeness, right? Let's just go ahead and move on. The game's over. I can't win. He didn't scoop. And everyone in the Discord I was sitting in the chat, were being not very nice about it. Let's just not very nice, to say the least. He didn't scoop. And we're going
top 8 of a calling. You don't scoop.
You don't scoop.
No.
I agree.
You gotta play it till you gotta play
even the casters were talking about he's just playing it out to be a good sport. Like, and he wasn't like taking a really long time playing it out, but you can see he took a lot of time with the huge pitch pile he had from his combo turn, looking into it and all the stuff. He set it up, and I'm watching the game. I'm like, guys, he's stacking again. And the chat was like, there's no way he can get it. And dude, he starts doing it, and we go, oh, that's not bad. And then we see the wildfire, and we're like, oh. And he ABs a lot of the wildfire, like that's not quite there. And then he flips 2 flares off the top, and we're like, does he have it? And boy, did he have it. The KO was negative by a lot. So incredible. It was literally the last card in the Kano's deck.
Sure was.
He killed him with the last card in his deck.
It was masterfully played.
And dude, who was in the Discord? Someone said this. I'm gonna call it Nathan Crawford. Nathan Crawford was sitting in there with me. He's like, this is just a bad look on Fab while watching the Kano not concede. And then the Kano brings it back and wins. And I'm like, Nathan, you got to eat your own words. That was peak flesh and blood. This dude just used his last card to confirm lethal after. And everyone in that Discord realizes how hard it is to play a match that long after you've been running a calling for that many games, and how taxing it is to your brain to try to deal with those big pitch stacks. So, but we were all like,
card pitch stacks
it's
every
impossible.
game.
And then he did it. It was crazy. Then he did it. And then he
I think there were 2,000 people in that chat watching that game, and probably 1,900 of them were eating their words after that last card was flipped.
There were so many ats at one guy, like, proof you ate your shoe. Proof you ate your shoe.
Oh yeah, because he probably said, "I'll eat my shoes if he comes back."
I'll eat my shoe if this Kano wins, and then he won.
You can never count out a wizard, man.
This is like the true testament of chess, right? Especially in a card game. Not that it's like, predicated on a mistake or whatever, but like, play to your outs. If you have outs, you have outs, you play them.
I'm convinced Vincent
no peer pressure, nothing.
Yes, I messed up. I know how the deck works, and I know that the other combo without the Oasis Respites, because I saw the other one go pitch to the bottom, that I can kill him. And he's like, I can get 2 got played and 1 got pitched back to the other Oasis. And he did.
Let this be a lesson, like a serious one. Play to your outs. It doesn't matter how futile it looks. Just play to it. You'll never know.
But the game's not over till the last life point is tallied.
Yep.
This isn't like some weird Pokemon
10th life point or something like that.
Yeah.
Poor Bolton.
Something like that.
And then in the next game, the Kano just whopped the KO.
I think it was like turn 2.
He went shield
something
step
like that.
And the Kano's just like, all right, let's check. And they flip some cards, and he's like, you're at 11.
That's Kano. Oh, I love that deck so much. It keeps everybody so honest at some point. It's such a humbling deck to just get absolutely destroyed.
If you run your resource lean play lines into Kano, you are rolling the dice on what he flips off the top of the deck.
Be real.
Sometimes Kano just pitch stacks and wins, like what happened to the Bolton, because the Bolton respected the living.
I think he actually respected them too much. We were talking that maybe the Bolton could have been more aggressive, because there's a couple times he held pump cards in his hand because he was like scared, but he knew the last wildfire where it was in the deck if he was following the stack. So there was maybe a chance for Bolton to have pushed harder and ended the game before the Kano could get there, but that's Flesh and Blood. Flesh and Blood is hard.
Kudos to you, Mr. Kano, for not.
All right, let's talk spoilers. because we're already 45 minutes into the podcast, and the only spoiler we really talked about is DM Armadas.
Oh no.
Okay.
That's so much.
Look, that's
There's
okay.
so much.
So I can talk Ninja because I've already been through a bunch of the Ninja cards. There's some cards I was pretty excited for that I've been a little bit more disappointed. The Shifting Winds of the Tiger one is the one that I was really excited for, but I haven't been able to make that card work. Let me bring it up. But the Shifting Winds is the one that lets you name all your kitty cats. And there's so many cool things you could do with that card, but I just could not get it to work.
Scary.
What number is that? I should just search it since I know the name rather than scrolling through. Shifting Winds. So Shifting Winds of the Mystic Beast is a blue block 3, 1 cost non-attack action. Whenever you play a Crouching Tiger this turn, name a card, it gets that name. If Chi was pitched to play this, create 2 Crouching Tigers in your hand, go again. The problem is that you have to have the Chi in your hand and this to get the Crouching Tigers. Otherwise, it's just like this weird like name a card thing. And I was hoping that like it just being a blue starter so that you could transcend after you play it would maybe be enough. And you could do fun things like you can name your Crouching Tiger Doo-Doo Gust Wave and then play a Bonds of Ancestry after it. You could name you could name it Open Center and then play Find Center and get a Zen State token. You can
name it 100 Wins.
You can name it 100 Wins and then use Mask of the Pouncing Lynx to grab a blue 100 Wins at the end and throw a blue 100 Wins for like 9. But I couldn't ever get it to work. And I think it is going to work. It probably is going to be 100 Wins that makes it work. Because like it's a combo card, so you could search it. It's a blue starter, and Zen really needs blue starters. So it's just a natural fit in the deck anyway. Blue 100 Wins. It's an okay red starter because you need red starters as well. So the red one is fine. But that's a card that I want to break, but I'm not sure if I can. Lead the Tail, though, might be the best Majestic that Zen got. Or Chase the Tail. Sorry, Chase the Tail. This card is insane. 1 cost, 4 attack, 3 block, red. Combo. When this attacks, the Crouching Tiger was the last attack this combat chain. This gets go again, and the next Crouching Tiger you play this combat chain gets +3. This card is so wild because you do the Kakara. You spend 2 on the Kakara. You throw a Crouching Tiger for 1. Primes up the Shuko. You play Chasing Tail for 4, and then you throw another Crouching Tiger for 4. Damage can't be prevented. And it's wild. So Chase the Tail is coming in is like a 1 card 7 that lets you do your Shuko to make sure that your Shuko gets lots of good value because it's coming in at a break point. The card is so good. And then I guess we'll do 3. Finally, the chess piece. My first glance at it, the 12 leaves, 12 something. I haven't memorized. 12 petal Kasaya. That's probably not how you pronounce that word. There are a lot of special characters
somebody said
above
it's Kia.
Kia? Did the S just
supposedly it's a transliteration from Chinese from I'm not sure. I saw something posted on Twitter as a helpful primer. Hold on, let me see if I've got it.
I'm guessing the S just flew away, but it does have an S in it. This is a 2-block Blade Break Mystic Ninja Equipment Chest Legendary. Whenever you transcend, you may gain 1 resource. Instant, pitch 3 Chi, destroy this, create a Zen State token. This chess piece is so versatile. So this says whenever you transcend, this is not a once per turn. So if you do a double transcend, you get 2 resources. So you get to do 2 of your 1 cost attacks on top of like pitching in. You just have resources for days. It's especially good on the single transcendence turn because it allows you to transcend, get the 1 extra resource, pay 3, get a 1 cost attack from Zen's ability, and then have the 1 extra resource left to play it. It's amazing. And then in the late game, you could block for 2, and then in the resolution step, you pay the 3 Chi, you break it, you get a Zen State token, which is can be versus certain decks. This chess piece can block for like 10 because you like say it's a wide deck, right? Say it's the mirror match coming at you. You go block with the Kasaya, block with the 12 pedal on the first attack, break it, get the Zen State token. Everything comes in for one less that turn and the next turn.
Really good against Rune Chance.
Yep, it just completely turns off Rune Chance. So like, OTK Viscera hates this one crazy trick. Like it literally, dude, I think you get a chi in your hand, and the OTK Viscera loses the game. You just never get rid of the chi. Like you just always have one chi held in hand, and the OTK Viscera cannot win because you can make well, hold on. Do you have time to? No, you break it in response to the Rune Chance. You don't get a chance to block with it, but you break it in response to the Rune Chance. Yeah, you get to do it. God, it's so good. Okay, those are my like 3 interesting cards that I really liked for Ninja that I'm trying to abuse.
Okay. Noah, did you have any favorites that you wanted to look at before I start gushing about everything that New got on Saturday?
No, you do your New. That gives me time to finalize on the last Illusions card.
The very first thing that I want to talk about is the crazy headpiece that New got.
The art makes me uncomfortable.
Mask, that was quick. The Mask of Recurring Nightmares.
It's like the better Coronet Peak, right? Like we're all in agreement.
I don't know if it is. I don't know if it's really comparable. I mean, the effect is similar. All right.
Yes.
Mask of Recurring Nightmares. Once per turn attack reaction chi. You got to pitch a chi. Target defending hero banishes a card from their hand. Period. Blade Break 2. It is a Mystic Assassin equipment headpiece. So there's a lot of competition for the headpiece with Balance of Justice and Crown of Providence being so good right now. And I don't know how many chi New actually wants to run. That's the issue that I'm having with this headpiece. That's the issue that I'm having with this effect. It is very, very powerful. No question about it. Banishing a card out of the opponent's hand as an attack reaction, that is one of the best effects that we've seen. It's one of the best disruptive effects we've seen in a long time. But how easy is it going to be to get chi when you're only playing like 4, maybe 5, 6-ish?
I think even that's enough because the floor it blocks 2. The ceiling, you get to rip an extra 2 to 3 cards in a game from somebody. And the reason why you can't really compare it to Coronet Peak is you have to wait till later in the game. And also you have to attack to use this instead of like just throwing your last blue to lower what's in your opponent's hand.
Yeah. I mean, the ceiling on it is insane. It's definitely crazy good. And the end game with New is going to be very, very powerful. Assuming that you don't have to block with it to stay alive before you start drawing the chi in a position where you can use them on an attack reaction.
The reason I like it is because it gives you a consistent way to generate that one extra attack reaction after you've used your gear up. So it lets you hit the 3 attack reactions that you need for Bonds of Agony, for instance. Which is
that's gonna be my next one.
It's there you go.
Agony, because that
clean segue.
Oh, all right. Let me find it so I can read it out exactly.
It having the attack reaction keyword though, I think definitely is why
it's at number 103 if you're trying to scroll down the list.
Yeah.
Oh god, and the art for Bonds of Agony is just so good too. Also makes me a little bit uncomfortable. Yeah, a lot of these cards are like very discomforting.
Oh, there it is. All right, Bonds of Agony. It is a 1-power, 3-block stealth attack. Only comes in blue because it's majestic. If you've played or activated 3 or more attack reactions this chain link, this gets +3, and when this hits a hero, look at their hand and choose a card. Search their hand, deck, and graveyard, and banish up to 3 cards with the same name as the chosen card. They shuffle. Those are my 2 favorite words that I've seen on any Flesh and Blood card so far. I hate thinking about a pitch stack. This says you don't get to think about your pitch stack either.
It's so mean. Dude, they shuffle.
Beautiful.
Also,
this is gonna be a 3 of.
Dude, how crazy is it that like on the first turn of the game you can go, let me look at your whole deck. Like,
yes,
dude, there's already been discussions like as soon as someone plays this against me, I'm just gonna call judge because they're gonna get a slow play. Because they're gonna, okay, you got 3 of these,
Fair.
3 of these, 3 of these, 1 of these. Yeah, like this is the first card like this. It literally lets an assassin, because it is for all assassins, see the entire deck. There are no surprises anymore unless it was like in the arsenal, because you also get to look at their hand.
Yeah, again, this card basically says, give me your whole hand. Because if I get over your blocks, I'm taking that last card and you lose it. Whatever thing you thought you were going to be protecting, whatever thing you thought you were going to be holding back, no, because it can easily get up over 10. If you can't block greater than 10, you're in trouble. You need to just lay down your hand if you see this card.
Yeah, you either lay down
that's
your
basically
hand.
what it boils down to.
Yep, you lay down your hand or you lay down your combo cards that you don't want to lose. And just draw them up later, because you don't want to lose. Oh god, this is so brutal for like Katsu. Like, you gotta block with the bonds or you're gonna lose 3 bonds out of your deck.
It's really good against Kano. It's really good against Prism. It's just a beautiful card. And every single one of these succubus art pieces on new stuff, dude, I love this vibe.
She is the soul stealer,
dude,
out there.
It's Monday night. There's still time. We still may possibly see a demi hero for new. That's my hope and dream, that there is a succubus demi hero floating around out there somewhere that people are just slow rolling, and all of this art is just set up for that massive, beautiful transformation.
Is there a space
That's
for
what I'm
it?
hoping.
But yeah, succubus new would be cool.
I don't think so, but
I don't think there's space for it now.
I don't think so either, but it would be really cool.
Maybe later.
Let's see. Do I go Siren's Call or Persuasive Prognosis for the last one? I don't remember if Siren's Call was available last week.
What about the card just to the right of Persuasive Prognosis?
Oh yeah. Oh man, there's so much good stuff.
I really like the art of this one. This one the art's kind of like got a really good gory sex appeal going on, because she's the scene is everyone's done. Fine. Okay.
Yeah, I think this one was Carolina's, right? Carolina Alvarado spoiled this one.
It was either that or she did Bonds of Agony.
No. She had no.
Did she have Bonds of Agony because she had the thing with all the hands coming out of the edges?
She didn't have Bonds. Who did? Okay, just a Nick. I lost the spoiler, so give me just a moment to get back to it.
I could read it out for you if you want.
Sure, go for it.
It's a 0-cost 3-block red that says choose one or both. Target attack action card with 1 or less base gets +5. Target attack with stealth gets, when this hits a hero, banish the top card of their deck. Ooh.
+5. +5. Your blue stealth attacks get +5 and banish an extra card. And it costs
Holy hell.
This is so good. Everything about this set, everything about this hero is so good.
You see that gap on Zen's head? That she's not a good barber. He needs to get a better barber. It's not
it's
good.
Just a nick.
It's a little bit more than a nick.
He's fine. It's okay. It's not. No, he's
not that
fine. Don't worry about it.
It was only 1 card.
You can trust
the top
me.
Of his deck.
Yeah.
I like the flavor of it too.
Trust.
Just a nick. It's just 1 card. Let's ignore the 5 damage. And the 3 cards out of your deck because I target a Bonds of Agony with this.
Yeah, or the persuasive prognosis. I can't even talk. The persuasive prognosis, or literally any of the other blue.
Yeah, all the blue ones.
1 power stealth attacks. Ugh. I saw somebody else.
It
on
does turn
Twitter
them
post.
into fair blocks too, which is kind of nice, right? +5 goes to 6. So just for math's sake. I'm not saying blocking a 1 cost with 2 cards feels good, but I'm just...
You say fair blocks, but if it's a double trouble.
If it's a double trouble,
double
or
trouble goes
if
to
it's
8.
What is that other one?
By the way, Double Trouble Just a
Pick to
Nick
Pieces.
is
Or
Double Trouble
or the blue Pick to Pieces too.
Double Trouble Just a Nick with a tunic resource can become a 2-card 8.
Oh no.
You
want to know something gross to use that on? Sneak Attack. The blue Sneak Attack.
For just
you remember what Sneak Attack is?
Does Sneak Attack actually have a base of 1?
The blue Sneak Attack has a base of 1. It's a 2-power assassin attack. It only blocks for 2, but if you've played or activated an attack reaction this chain link, 1 attack reaction, it gets +4.
I don't know. That's pretty cooked. I don't know about that.
So this 1 power.
I mean,
this 1 power assassin attack.
It's a 3-card 10.
Well, yeah,
3-card 10 is fine with 1 resource left over, so you could possibly have did a tunic counter to swing a dagger beforehand. Because a spider's bite before throwing a 10 is pretty strong.
Yeah, kind of good. There is so much going on with this hero. There is so much to brew, and I really cannot wait. LSS, you have hit it out of the park. James White, congratulations. You were right. Peak TCG design. I am sold. I am 100% sold.
You got any of yours that you've picked out, Noah?
Yes. First of all, I'm glad we stuck with the tradition, and I was happy that everybody's suspicions were put to rest with Meridian Pathway. That it is another feat. Because you need it. And they're perfect, right? Like they're everything I could ever want for illusionists.
Mm-hmm.
Phantasmal, what? You know what I mean? Like, who cares now? No, the card art's great. I had a feeling it was
beautiful.
I think it's amazing. Instant for 1 chi, you can play auras this turn as though they were instants. I don't think there's any auras that flash in for an action point, except for the one that says if you control no others, then you gain an action point, but it doesn't have go again, so you're not like creating one with Spellbound Creeper.
No, you do. The one that gives you an action point, you do end up with 2 action points when you play this as an instant. That's like that's why you run it. You run this into Prism.
Oh, well.
It's just great into Prism because she can't ALS loop you. Because funny enough, Enigma is vulnerable to ALS loop without Meridian Pathway.
Oh, well, then there you go. Because let me tell you, I was gonna have that other card. We were gonna talk about that anyway. It's I just lost it again. Rage Spectre.
That's what I was thinking about.
Right. But anyway, I like that we're keeping with the flair and the flavor. I think it's really neat. Whenever you pitch, you may have this get Ward 3. So when you're pitching your chi anyway, you're getting an extra Ward 3 off of the boots, which is great. I assume they're not a one-time. So assume it just wards 3, then goes back to being inert, then wards 3 again, which is pretty crazy. So you just gain extra 3 life every time you pretty much pitch a chi, which I'm not gonna say it's gonna happen every turn.
Ward will pop it.
Oh well, so the second, so it's a one time. You tell me it's not coming back. It's not Phantasmal. It's not that reoccurring.
Correct. Yeah, the ward will pop it. So that's why you run both. That's why you run both Meridian and the Phantasmal Footsteps, because you run the Phantasmal Footsteps for wide decks where you want to like block 1 a lot. Like Dash, it literally just doubles your life on like pew for 2 turns.
I think that spoiler video, I think we were discussing it before the pod. Sloop Dupe knocked it out of the park.
His spoiler was so funny. He was so mean and rude. But I think he wears the hats to indicate the personality he's emulating at the moment, right? So I think he had his mean dude hat on.
Mr. Ribbits.
Yeah. So he had his Mr. Ribbit hat on. So you know immediately that he's going to just trash talk the entire time. And he trash talked the entire time. LSS has no idea what they're doing. That's exactly why they print these legendary boots.
Yeah, no other class has ever done this before. Meanwhile, he's got Crippling Crush and all these other cards just posted up right next to him. I mean, it's satire, and I really appreciated the way he did it. And not only that, the art, that is going to be an absolutely beautiful cold foil.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a gorgeous card.
I like how they've spoiled the extended art on Mask of Recurring Nightmares to show me how amazing it is, and then I don't see maybe we're not getting a full art.
No, 12 Petal has extended art.
Yeah, I see that as well, which is also amazing.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
But, does that mean the boots aren't getting full art?
They will.
No, they definitely
will.
They definitely will.
Kind of need to see what those look like full art.
Because LSS hates the wallets of Illusionist players. It will have a full art version.
I want to see
or an alternate art.
I want to see what the Fable is. The Fable is going to be gorgeous too.
Oh, it's going to be absolutely.
Sure. It's going to be something with Chi.
So I want to pick 3 visits, right? Like I just want to pick it for the sake of picking. But I also think that Enigma is going to be doing a lot of playing blues, like previously, to get an effect for playing a blue. You know what I mean? It says, let's just talk about 3 visits for a second. 3 visits is a red card. Costs 3 to play, and it says ward X, where X is 3 times the number of blue cards you pitch. I don't know, it seems kind of crazy because it already costs 3, meaning if you only pitch 1, I think you're only warding 3. Unless you've pitched a blue previously, and I believe you're warding 6 at that point. Which is what you're supposed to be doing, I guess. It's supposed to be a 2-card 6 for you pitching a blue card that didn't block previously. Something of that sort. A lot of cards have it. So like Sacred Art of Mortal Lunar Shrine has if you've played another never mind. Okay, 3 visits might not be that. But
oh no, the solution is clear. You have 1 in arsenal, 1 in hand, 3 blues, you drop ward 9 twice.
There you go. See?
5 card 18. Pretty good.
This is I mean, Enigma's gonna be more of a methodical stall deck. Like I don't want to say that like to turn people off, but there's a lot of high work.
Methodical stall deck.
She has to be. She has to be. Like
she's like this. Like build up the board, lose it. Build up the board, lose it. But like, okay, if you build up ward, like you build ward 4, you swing with it once, and then it pops. That card got 8 points, right?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like when I mean, but you're stalling. You're kind of stalling based off of that because none of your stuff sticks and all of it's there to be broken. Like you're building a puzzle every turn kind of a thing, and then you need some kind of win con at the end, which we already know what the win con is. You Kamehameha for 20. So all you have to do, all you have to do is get to the end. And then
you saw the yellow one, right? The yellow one, I think, is the win con. God, I forgot its name. It's the yellow majestic, the one that steals the +1/+1 counter or the +1 counters from everything.
Oh, we're
magic.
Hold on, we're getting there. That's Restless Coalescence, which we were getting to. So let's talk about that next after 3 visits, because 3 visits is a real card. It really is. When this enters the arena, move any number of +1 counters from auras you control onto this, which is already busted. So you could take something that would be, I guess, fragile, or I don't know. You could take something that you don't want to protect and put it onto this. Although they all have words, so I guess if you're getting hit hard enough, you're losing it anyway. But Restless Coalescence costs 0. It's a yellow. When it enters, move any +1 counters from auras you control onto this. Once per turn, instant, remove a +1 counter from this. Create a Spectral Shield token. You can do it on their turn and your turn, which is pretty good. I mean, adding +1 to ward.
Well, no, it's like you take. It's really the taking all the counters and putting them on 1 can create like a really unfair game state because your first swing is free.
All right. I mean, if you got them all spread out, you could just take them all and put it on this card.
0. So if it's in arsenal and you could block for 12 or whatever,
it's also
block with
instant.
your whole hand. Yep. At the end, you play it out. You've managed to defend all of your little 1/1 tokens, but you don't have any resources. That's okay. You just put them all on 1 and swing for like 8.
Yeah.
Also, it's really good with Reality Refractor because I think I was watching someone play against Fino and he was on a Reality Refractor list. This card would be kind of cracked on that because it swings for 5 base and then takes all the +1/+1 counters and gets even bigger. So, also, it's got really cute art. All the kitty cats, ghostly kitty cats on it.
Oh yeah,
swing for cats.
That's a play mat for sure.
Swing for cats.
If I've ever seen one,
that is definitely a play mat. Those are some great sleeves too.
Yes, I like the cats. So we'll go ahead and chalk it off too, because I think we should talk about this 10,000 year reunion. 10,000 year reunion is probably everybody's like like Are You Kidding Me card, which I mean it's pretty good.
It was until we saw DM Armadas.
Right. And now we know where the real payoff is. 10,000 Year Reunion is a red cost card, so it only pitches for 1. It costs 8, but it says you may remove 3+1 counters from among auras you control. So among any auras, rather than pay this card's cost. So if you just give up 3+1s on any amount of auras, it's no longer 8. It's free and it worth 10. It can also be played at instant speed with the boots. Started out there.
I would like to point out that this
That's
is an
13 for free.
illusionist aura, not a mystic illusionist aura.
Yeah.
And so
That too.
Yeah. Aura Prism can use this.
Mm-hmm.
With Haze.
But she's gonna be gone soon anyway. Prism's gonna be gone like at some point, right?
I saw the one meme for this card where instead of Year Reunion, it just said 10,000 Costco hot dogs. And they took the word 10, deleted it, and it was flavor text at the bottom, and it was like, what a deal. That's only $15,000 a Minga.
I don't know why I'm so
it's just so dumb. 10,000 Costco hot dogs.
So Enigma to me, I'm not like, you're not turtling, okay, but you are trading your wards and damage per turn. You're probably blocking out a lot. You're warding out a lot. And again, I think you're walking life totals down. And the kind of deck it is. I don't think there could prove me wrong, please. But I don't think you're going out there and playing aggro Enigma. Maybe you are. Maybe I'm wrong, and there really is the aggro sweep. But I feel like you have that good mix up.
I think
and I
from
feel like
what
that's
I've seen,
the point
it's
of the deck.
matchup dependent, right? It's a give
Yeah,
and take.
I would assume.
Wide
right?
decks, you have to approach different than tall decks. Like tall decks, I think you just aggro. You just get like a couple value auras out there, and then you block with your hand and swing in.
Wouldn't it be the other way? Wouldn't you fatigue out tall decks, and wouldn't you aggro the wide decks? Because wide decks, you have absolutely no chance of ever fatiguing. Usually, if they go 2-2, that's like the idea behind it. Whereas a tall deck, they have a certain.
It's so weird to call it anything that's like a Magic the Gathering term because it's just bizarre.
You just fold the Vin set. Like there's as far as I'm concerned, you will not win a Vin set match, which is good because I've been a Vin set my whole life.
Maybe you pitch 3 blue chi and deal 20 damage a few times.
Now hold on, I think you might be onto something with that.
I don't think so. I don't think so, man.
I don't.
But I will tell you, I made this joke in the Discord earlier, but it's 100% true. Every time one of these crazy busted ward cards have come out, I've added one more malign and damage can't be prevented effect into my assassin list.
I think just blue malign might be enough because just a nick, the way it interacts with just the nick.
Really good.
It is really good. But yeah, I can't wait to blow up someone's 10,000 Year Reunion with like a kitty cat for 1 or a symbiosis shot for 2. It's not often you get to shoot a gun for 8 or for 10 value.
Yeah. Oh, they'd probably just block that, right?
Well,
it depends on how many times you shoot
I'm gonna say here's the crazy part. Some of those cards don't block.
It's true. A lot of the Transcend cards, all 6 or 7 of them in your deck, don't block and
just
don't have very many meaningful effects either.
It's gonna be an interesting deck. It'll definitely find its place, though. Then we'll all be like, "How did you ever create a deck like?"
Did anyone see?
Enigma scares me. I've said it a few times. Enigma scares me.
The defense reaction?
No, just in general, the way the hero.
Oh yeah, the blue one.
The blue defense reaction.
Or you draw a card.
Yes, pitch a chi to play this.
I think it's nuts.
It blocks for 5, and so you draw a card, replace one of the cards you use. So it's a 1 card block 5 potentially.
Unravel aggression is amazing.
Yep.
Hands down. The other card too, I think it's gonna be underrated for a while, and it'll pick up steam. Is the generic grave? No, hold on. Where is it?
The weakest link.
Yep, weakest link.
That card's solid. It's very specific, but it's solid.
It's like your sensors. It's like your amnesias. It'll have its place eventually. People will be like, "Oh, that's my card. I'm adding in the weakest link." It's a popper, and it also does X. That's why people add it.
We didn't even mention the legendary generic that got printed. We almost
oh yeah.
It it's a little baffling, right? Like it's like the opposite of Goliath gauntlets, right? It's almost like the guardian gauntlets too.
Okay, so Stonewall Gauntlet blocks for 1 blade break. When this defends an attack with greater than its base opposing attack gets -1 this combat chain. Opposing attacks. So this is good against V for the Vanguard. This is good against Katsu once he's committed to a chain. This is good against potentially.
So it's gonna last for the whole chain. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, the entire chain.
Not turn though.
So if the ninja has committed to the chain, it's good. If he
can break it, right?
Sometimes,
but I guess
you
they
can't
would
play bonds and break it because your card goes away. And so like there's some good applications to it. I think it's a little bit of future proofing for like Art of War and stuff. And like, so you play head leads to the tail, right? And then they block with this, and your head leads to tail does nothing because if you break chain, your head leads to tail effect goes away anyway.
I mean, each kitty cat's getting -1, right? Until he breaks chain.
Exactly. So if your only way you were getting value,
if
the only way you were getting value off your cats that turn for a kitty cat ninja was head leads to tail, then yep.
This is Enigma arm equipment for Zen, to avoid Ward being absolutely destroyed.
I don't know.
No,
because the glove slot's probably open on Enigma, so
it might be.
That's my hot take. Go ahead, you take it, Illusionist.
Yeah, if big combo Zen
cooking up over here.
If big combo Zen is the Zen deck rather than like value Zen, then yeah,
you just throw it out there, and it basically says like if you're committing, like you just said, if you're committing, it's all going for -1. So I feel like I don't know.
I think this will be better than Vanguard. They'll keep a higher price than Vanguard, but I think they're almost as niche as Vanguard was.
Which Vanguard? What are you talking about?
Vanguard's a determination. The ones that
Van Brace is
a determination.
Yeah, I actually think these will be more like Van Brace is definitely niche. Yeah,
okay.
I think these will be better than Van Braces.
The first thing that comes to mind when I look at this equipment is the way we reacted to Balance of Justice when it was first spoiled.
Oh no, I told you that thing was cracked, and you guys told me no. Go back.
When I first saw Balance, I wasn't really impressed because I didn't understand how prevalent Brute was going to be in the meta. But then as KO took over and Blood Rush was everywhere, the value of Balance of Justice became just obvious. It was just really solid. I'm wondering if this is going to be a legendary in the same vein. It's not immediately apparent, but as we get further into the meta, it's going to be a defining card.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
It only blocks
because it only blocks on the chain link though. That's my issue. That's why I'm having a harder time evaluating it.
I mean, I think it'll have its spot. Balance was really going up against a tough headpiece, so I understand why nobody wanted to sell out to it. But I mean, it's good against anything that draws. Prism, you block 2, they draw for Tome, you draw.
Oh, we're talking
draws, you draw. You know what I mean? Like that card has absolute playability into so many classes. I feel like this is a little less than that. It also takes the glove slot. Gloves are a hot commodity in some decks. Some decks.
Which
Illusionist though, I'm not seeding my gloves on Dory. Are you kidding me? Brute's not seeding their gloves for this.
It's Brute and Warrior, I think.
Van Braces. Nobody's seeding not Van Braces. Grasps. Nobody's seeding Grasps for that card. Okay, I'm sorry. Nobody's seeding Bullseye Bracers for that card.
I could see OTK Viz. I could see OTK Viz or Turtle Force Viz running Stonewall.
It's not a real deck. It's not real. So we're just gonna play it off.
Yeah, sure. Just the next
time
you
act like
get
that one doesn't
up
exist
by 85 rune chance in one turn.
I don't know. I don't lose to that deck. I don't.
Okay.
It's just a very unfun 45-minute game, but I don't lose to it. It's so unfun. Anyway, there are a lot of glove defining pieces though. Like Guardian's not using this. They have a better version of it in a sort of sense. But again, Illusionist has typically had an open arm slot, correct? They throw Goliath Gauntlet or Wave, they throw something in there, Wave of Reality. I think this is a way of saying, hey, this is your glove for this particular matchup, for the wide matchups, for the ninjas and stuff. I think it's really going to help, and I think it's going to help tone it down for for the ward breakpoint, so your wards are doing what they need to, and it's not spilling over.
You know what's really good for wide matchups?
More block.
Arclight Sentinel.
Yeah, well, not everybody can be Prism.
Well, no, you were just making. You just said the gloves, the illusionist gloves.
Yeah, the illusionist gloves. Illusionists don't have.
I could see maybe Enigma running it. Okay, I could.
Illusionists are all about their feet, right? They don't do the gloves.
And from a flavor standpoint, it's absolutely comical imagining Enigma wearing these big chunky gloves.
Oh,
or no, it's not even big chunky gloves. It's one glove.
One big power.
Oh yeah,
it's the Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh yeah.
This may be the future most altered card in Flesh and Blood, just so people can add the Infinity Stones onto this thing.
I think it's a cool card.
It wouldn't be much of a stretch.
This will definitely have good playability later on, even if it doesn't get its shine yet. Kudos. Take this as a lesson that like I guess foreshadowing that something's probably coming to really play with this, or that they're really worried Zen can get out of hand. One of those two, which I think it's the latter.
I think that's more
they're
likely.
Really worried that
I think they're more concerned about Zen.
But it only hits head,
I agree.
The tail. It doesn't hit Art of War or Zen's Sacred Art.
Yeah, but if he just keeps playing out, if he has to break it before he can play. You
go break chain and then just start attacking again.
Or maybe it's more for Katsu.
Yeah, it really affects Katsu because Katsu like throws the surging strike, it hits, and then he throws the whelming gust wave, and you block with the gloves, and you're just like, oh, now I just gotta do 3 less damage on this turn cycle.
So that's what I was saying. I it's for something like that. It's okay though. It'll have
the gloves. The gloves block for 4, right? Because they're gonna block.
Yeah.
They're gonna block the They're gonna block 1 off the gust wave, another 1 off the gust wave, 1 off the bonds, and then 1 off the finisher. Because you can't ever break chain. So it does really hurt with Katsu.
I like it. Good, seriously, good card though. Really good generic. There are some strong generics still in this set. I even think the locals is bad too. That Rowdy locals is pretty cool.
Yeah, I forgot about the generics.
There are some interesting generics here.
Rowdy locals is so good.
And 5 Mechanologist expansion slots. I know 4
they
of them.
They really want Teklo to be good.
I know 4 of them are Evo pieces mainly meant for Teklo. But still.
Yeah.
Okay.
They want Teklo.
Okay.
Did you guys see I got one more and I'll be done with the spoilers, but this one is kind of interesting to me. Did you guys see the prismatic ley line?
Oh, I meant to talk about that and ask you what you think about it for new. Considering that your next blue is going to get +3.
I don't think it's very good, except in limited.
Wait, it blocks 3. It blocks 3. It's a 0 cost
in limited.
Block 3.
I think
prismatic ley line is a yellow generic action block 3. Cost 0. Your next red attack this turn gets +1. Your next yellow attack gets +2, and your next blue attack gets +3. Go again. This is a 0 for 6 if you manage to go 3 cards wide. If you manage to play a red, yellow, and a blue,
I was going to say
it triggers all 3 of them.
Oh, man, this is going to be so busted later on for a hero that wants to play one.
A single deck that potentially would attack with red, yellow, blue. I know one deck.
We don't have them yet.
Yeah, we do.
Hey,
Katsu. Katsu is literally the only class in the game that really wouldn't mind doing a red, yellow, and blue in a single turn.
Yeah. And has
that we know of yet.
Work.
Yep.
That is pretty good in that specific situation.
But in limited, this is incredible because it is a 1 card 5 go again. Because you get stuck with crappy yellows all the time, and you're definitely going to have blues because it's part of the misfail. So this card can very easily give 5 points of value, which in limited, if a card alone by itself gets 5 points of value, that is wild.
It blocks 3.
I mean,
and it blocks 3.
It's majestic, so
you're not going to get
it very often. But when you do find it, it's a bomb.
I think this it's not pack one pick one. You need your colors to kind of line up and have a possibility of it executing. But it could be like it floats around, people underestimate it. You go, I already got some pretty good yellow attacks in here. Let's go for it.
So I got like 1,000 poison the wells sitting aside, and this is going to be my next. Great, because you guys are gonna just wait. It'll be like Phantom Tide mode. You'd be like, Noah, You really have 1,000? I'll be like, a whole 1,000. Did you see where Poison the Well is?
I can't wait for you to make new lose a life instead of gain a life for one card. That sounds awesome.
Wait a minute.
That's what I'm sitting here thinking.
Nobody said it's for this. It's later. Poison the Well exists for 6 sets down the road when that hero comes out that says, I'm here to gain a lot of life in one turn. Then
to be fair,
check this out.
To be fair, if you ever flip this over versus Kano after he Toma Finals for 6 life,
I didn't even think about that.
I would laugh all the way home.
Way to go, Kanos. It's my turn to ping you on your turn.
It's a 12-point swing, by the way. That actually is good value, but that literally that's the only use cases against like
you guys are gonna see it
and Kano.
You guys are gonna see it anyway. I actually think you should pick up a bunch of prismatic ley lines. I promise.
We have like gone off on the longest tangent now. We're talking about Poison the Well. We need to leave.
Yeah.
A real card.
Yeah, it's about that time.
Well.
Oh, all right. Well, Donnie, where can everybody find you?
Probably in the Cult of New Discord. That is one of the best places to find me these days because I'm hanging out in there all the time. If you have any interest in the new Mystic Assassin, check it out. Otherwise, you can find me on Twitter or literally any social media as DracoHominis87 or fabric.gg as Donnie K, where I write a couple of different article series. The next one is coming out this Friday. It's going to be a review of the coverage for Calling Warsaw. Then next week, I'm going to do the Calling in Tokyo / the world premiere.
Well,
Thomas, where can everybody find you?
Wallowing in hate, self-loathing, and fatigue as I try to like navigate this new meta with only a month before Nats. Gonna get like 2 weeks of draft. Oh god, it's gonna be so
It's gonna be stressful.
Yeah, it's gonna be stressful. And I don't even know, I don't have a list that's finished yet. I have my like 2 or 3 target heroes, but I don't have a list, and so I will probably be no-lifing it super hard. But if you do see me on Discord, it's going to be as Wet the System, and I'll be on Twitter occasionally posting as Wet the System Fab.
I myself am on Twitter at BigMaxFab and on twitch.tv/. If nobody has anything else, thanks for joining us, everybody. We hope you enjoyed catching up with us this week. And if you did, subscribe or follow depending on where you found us to catch us again. Until then, take care of yourself. And remember, we are all siblings. Everybody. And discard your cards. A lot of new heroes are coming out, but Pummel is still prevalent.
And don't forget to flip your cheese.
Yeah, oh, please.
Remember to D-cheese.
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 D-cheese.